High-profile battles over data centers here in Kentucky recently lead to a meeting tonight of residents in West Louisville who already see one being built near their homes. It is our top story for you here on the Night Team. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. We checked the data center map. It's a resource launched in 2007 used by buyers and sellers of data center services. Kentucky has over 37 data centers with 24 in Louisville alone. There are smaller data centers scattered around the city that provide IT infrastructure and data storage to business sectors like healthcare and retail. Now, these centers have significant energy and gas usage compared to residential consumers. However, they cannot compare to the massive data center projects you've been hearing so much about in the news lately. WHAS11 Night Team's Alex Dieterer covers the new concern from a group of West Louisville residents.
I live in Rubbertown, and we've already got a whole host of problems.
Kentucky's first hyperscale data center is under construction on Campground Road, expected to cover these 157 acres near Rubbertown. Rubbertown residents are left with questions and concerns that U of L Assistant Professor Dr. Natasha DeJarnette helped address through a West Jefferson County Community Task Force meeting.
So people care very deeply about how the presence of data centers in their communities will affect not only their lives, but the lives of their children.
But data centers are not a new concept. Right now, there are at least 24 just in Louisville.
They've been an extra floor or an extra building attached to a hospital or to a bank, and nobody noticed them because they were doing great things for us, but they didn't require massive amounts of energy and of land.
U of L toxicologist Dr. David Hines said the rise in these massive data centers is due to the rapid increase of artificial intelligence.
It can provide increased tax revenue to states and counties, and increasingly the artificial intelligence that makes our life much easier.
While on the flip side, the energy used by data centers can have adverse impacts on air pollution, which can lead to heart and lung complications and diabetes. Studies show that industrial pollution in Rubbertown already contributes to health disparities in the area.
It should not further add to areas that are already burdened when it comes to air quality and health outcomes.
For some communities that are becoming the host to the centers, they say the benefits don't outweigh the risks.
Did anybody ask AI what would be the best place to position the data center to have the least impact on society?
Essentially, Google said to locate them away from people. That's a quote of Google.
A growing conversation surrounding data centers that seem to be here to stay. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
Louisville Metro Council member Marcus Winkler has proposed a data center moratorium, a hold right now in the city. The moratorium would not impact any current data centers that are under construction, like the one we just showed you on Campground Road. The Metro Council did not vote, and they instead tabled the moratorium proposal, and that happened earlier today. Well, this is not the first time we are seeing concerns revolving around data centers. This year, both Oldham and Meade counties rejected a proposal for billion-dollar data centers. Meade rejected theirs just last week in a huge vote. On the other hand, Jeffersonville's Meta Center construction is in full swing. And near Louisville's Rubbertown, another project was approved, and as you know, construction is underway, as we just showed you. Utility companies like LG&E are preparing to increase the support they can provide to those companies. They rolled out a $3.7 billion plan to serve future energy needs. Residents have been concerned about increased utility bills with or without the data centers. Other top news stories for you tonight here at 11. A burst pipe causing part of Plantside Drive to collapse earlier this month when Louisville saw all that heavy amounts of rain coming down. Now the J-Town Public Works Department has announced the crew set to rebuild the road. After Jeffersontown Public Works opened contractor bids for the reconstruction project, Advanced Paving and Construction won and began demolition over the weekend. Public Works Director in J-Town, Jimmy Franconia, said the hope is to complete the restoration by mid-December, weather permitting. Businesses along the road are still accessible while it does remain closed under construction. This weekend, a West Louisville bar faced an emergency suspension of its liquor license. This comes as two women were shot at the Double Deuce Sports Bar and Grill right over the weekend. while they are expected now to survive from their gunshot wounds. The incident prompted Louisville Metro Alcohol and Beverage Control to issue an emergency suspension. The bar cannot serve or sell alcohol until the investigation is finished. Today, the mayor said this was the bar's final straw.
We want locals and visitors alike to enjoy their time here in our city. But there are rules that everyone must abide by for their own safety and for the safety of others in our community. And so when there are establishments that don't follow the rules, that don't provide a safe environment for people to enjoy themselves, we're going to take action.
Mayor Craig Greenberg says in the past few months there's been a 500% increase in enforcement activity from both LMPD and ABC in the Russell neighborhood. New tonight, the law in our everyday lives. Metro Council member Shamika Parrish-Wright hosting a community discussion this evening, and the Jefferson County Commonwealth's attorney, Jarena Weathers, and the Shively police chief and mayor were both in attendance as well. Many are eager to hear more about plans for dealing with youth violence and crime. Weathers says she's attempting to work with legislators in Kentucky on the idea to hold parents more accountable for their children.
We're not talking about the parents that have done everything that they can. We're talking about the ones where they have no idea where their children are. And then we are responsible for them. And the big part of it is that once they get to us, which are felonies, it is too late.
Weathers suggested preventative options like parenting classes or laws that prosecute parents when extreme juvenile crimes are committed. On a sidebar tonight, we asked Shamika Parrish-Wright about Charles Booker backing her as a possible candidate for mayor, one of our top stories on the night team last night. She told us she does have a big decision facing her: run again as Metro Council member or launch a campaign challenging Craig Greenberg.
Either way, I have to run next year. I'm in an odd council seat, and so odd seats are up. And so either way, I have a race to run. Do I run another big mayor's race, or do I run a re-election campaign? And that is the dilemma I've been waking up with for months.
Both Parrish-Wright and Craig Greenberg are Democrats, but keep this in mind: this will be the first nonpartisan Louisville's mayor's race in our modern history due to a change in Kentucky law. New tonight, President Donald Trump's choice to challenge Kentucky Republican Representative Thomas Massie has now announced his candidacy officially. Retired Navy SEAL Officer Ed Galrine enters the 4th District campaign after gaining Donald Trump's endorsement. Galrine, who has never held elective office, was defeated in a state Senate primary last year. Thomas Massie has won re-election by huge amounts ever since entering Congress in 2012. Both are speaking through statements. In a statement today, Massie saying, quote, 4th District voters appreciate having an independent conservative voice who works for them, and I look forward to continuing my fight for transparency, constitutional rights, and secure borders. And in a release today, Galrine saying, quote, this district is Trump country. The president doesn't need obstacles in Congress. He needs backup. Well, President Donald Trump wants his Justice Department to pay him $230 million in settlement money from past criminal investigations on him. The decision on those taxpayer dollars would rest with senior DOJ officials from the president's inner circle. Here's ABC's Olivia Rubin following this developing story.
Tonight, sources telling ABC News President Trump pressuring his own Department of Justice to pay him $230 million as a settlement for 2 previous federal investigations into him.
They probably owe me a lot of money.
As first reported by the New York Times, those negotiations stemming from 2 prosecutions Trump faced. The first, a 2016 investigation surrounding potential ties Trump and his campaign had to Russia. The second, over Trump's handling of classified documents, which led to his Mar-a-Lago home being searched. Trump previously filed 2 administrative claims over those investigations, seeking damages over the Russia probe and claiming he was maliciously prosecuted in the documents probe. The president recently hinting at those complaints.
I'm sort of suing myself. I don't know. How do you settle the lawsuit? I'll say, give me X dollars, right? And I don't know what to do with the lawsuit. It's a great lawsuit, and now I won. It sort of looks bad. I'm suing myself, right?
And today, suggesting,
if I get money from our country, I'll do something nice with it, like give it to charity or give it to the White House while we restore the White House. And
That compensation, though, is typically covered by taxpayers. Any settlement would need sign-off from one of two top DOJ officials, one being Todd Blanche, who previously served as Trump's personal defense attorney in those very investigations. The other, Stanley Woodward Jr., who represented Trump's allies. The arrangement, which has no parallel in history, likely to spark severe ethics concerns. Asked for comment, the Department of Justice saying, in any circumstance, all officials at the Department of Justice follow the guidance of career ethics officials. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
And right now it's 11 at 11 here on the WHAS 11 night team. A live look we're bringing you at the moment of the U.S. Capitol tonight. The government shutdown entering its third week this week. Tomorrow will be a notable mile marker for this shutdown. It will make it the second longest government shutdown, and President Donald Trump will have been in office for the first and second longest shutdowns in U.S. history. And it's nothing but net tonight. We're going to take a look at West Louisville's newest basketball court, unveiled tonight, and the organizations that made it happen when the night team comes right back here on WHAS 11.
And it's another chilly and breezy night across Kentuckiana, with temperatures dropping down into the 40s, but we are tracking even colder nights ahead when we could see the threat of frost in the Louisville metro. That's coming up in our 7-day forecast. Today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots: Mega Millions $650 million, Powerball $320 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.